Alright guys, it's King here and I'm back with another DFFOO video. Now I'm back to playing JP. Actually like the recent changes that came about in JP. It's like one event per week, which actually works better with my life schedule. I know some people don't like it, they think the game is dying, but nah. Honestly, I love it. It allows me to do other things, enjoy life, play other games actually. But that's enough for that. In this video, I just started back playing, so I don't have a lot of the OP characters that came out recently, like Queen of Rubicante Wall. Their force and burst enhancements. Kurosami missed out on Shalada, but it's all good. You know, I actually started back playing the last day of Queen of Banner, and I fell asleep and didn't pull on the banner, which I don't know if you guys know what. I'll talk about it in another video, because since this is the first video I'm putting out in a long time, and I'll talk about actual fights here. This is Core's Lost Chapter. Yeah, the man known as the Immortal, and he got a pretty decent rework. I wasn't even paying attention if he had more grave hits on his preemptive attack, but yeah, Core has basically been relevant ever since he dropped in JP. So, and I think that's the same. He's the same as he is now in Global, so he's pretty much going to be relevant all the way up until he gets this burst weapon and force boards. But of course, you know, force boards, they basically it lets you do the force echo. The force echo is an attack, a force attack you can do that doesn't bring down the force timer. It also gives a little added bonus depending on the character. But Core also got a burst. His burst does the usual, you know, grave damage up, HP damage, cap up for the party. But now with his burst, he can actually, I don't remember the name of the buff, but he can add the buff that lets him do the preemptive attack on both characters. Basically what it doesn't erase from a character, so you can basically add it to both characters, and he'll be able to do the preemptive strike on both characters. So if an enemy like has an all attack, he will literally do 3 preemptive strikes, because for him and the 2 allies. But other than that, yeah, it's much of the same. He was already still relevant, so you really didn't have to add much to him. Noctis, on the other hand, I'll be honest with you, I've completely forgot how to use Noctis. As you can see, I had to use his additional ability in the burst phase, because that was actually the second time I did this run, and I did the same thing both times. I forgot to do the preemptive strike. Well, I forgot to do his additional ability to get his plus versions of his skills before I went into the burst phase. But with this fight, pretty much it's pretty straightforward fight. Pretty easy, to be honest. The only thing you really need to watch out for is you want to kill the add-on before he does his EX attack. That's what I call it when boss gauges feel. It's basically their EX attack. So before he does that, you want to make sure the add-on is dead, because if he's not, then he's gonna do a big attack that it dispels all your buffs, and it hits pretty hard. It almost kill you. One time I did the run and I didn't realize it, and I'm looking like, damn, where the hell everything went? But yeah. So other than that, if you have the add-on, see, I think he does a regular attack that may do a little bit of damage. I can't remember, but other than that, the fight is pretty much easy. The boss does have a lot of health for a single target boss. I think if I remember correctly, it was over 300 million, maybe like 350 million health. But other than that, that's all you have to worry about. Now his force, when he does his force ability, is 10 turns. He doesn't attack. It doesn't really hit that hard, but it does give him a HP poison. The HP poison is heavy. You'll see it. I think it took out like 18 million of my health or so. But yeah, other than that, he does delay you once his force gauge gets to a certain percentage, every time you do an ability, you are delayed by 1, which is why I kind of went with Core's force ability during this, because of the off-turn damage that I'm beginning, those counters will be going up. So yeah, the run was pretty good. I probably could have utilized it better because I'm still getting used to force echoes. I haven't really used them that much, and honestly, I'm trying to get used to Noctis. I haven't used Noctis in so long. I never was able to zero turn him. I believe you can zero turn with Noctis and Shinryu again. I'm pretty sure I saw Stimpy do a zero turn run with him, but yeah, so it's definitely possible. But I've never been much into the zero turns because I mean, overall it's the same amount of turns. It just look better when you have 0 instead of 8 or 9. But yeah, and I chose Tifa because I could have used Sid Reigns, but Sid Reigns is so broken. I didn't want to just use them all the time because Sid Reigns is on another level of broken. But other than that, yeah, the fight went pretty straightforward. Noctis, I can talk about Noctis a little bit. He got a rework too. His follow-up actually does a ton more HP hits. I don't know the exact number. You probably can see in the video if you can keep up with it. But other than that, yeah, he's done decent damage. Burst ability is the same. You know, the follow-up attack, as you can see, yeah, it's more than just 2 HP dumps now. So with this team, yeah, it's a lot of follow-up damage. A lot of, even Tifa kind of has her follow-up damage, even though it's considered 1 attack, so it doesn't really move the gauge like the other abilities do or whatever. But since this fight is so straightforward, I guess I can talk about some of the recent changes and what I think about them. New characters now basically will always come with their burst and force ability, and whenever a character has an event, they're basically going to give them their burst. So from what I've seen, they have upped the resources for burst material. I don't think you still can burst everybody. Like, if you go into this co-op shop that came with this event, it actually gives you, I believe, 20 nuggets, or the burst nuggets, which is basically a burst ingot. And you know you get 1 from maximum. So instead, you know, before like every event, you'll basically get 5. Once you, I think, do the little figure, they give you 5. But they've actually upped this some. They give you a burst book. Like, the pages, I believe, add up to a burst book. Honestly, it might be more than 20 nuggets. I probably, somebody probably can correct me in the comments, because I really wasn't paying attention to it. And I just remember getting them. I don't remember counting them. But yeah, I've been able to burst plus a lot of other characters. And they also give you these draw tickets that basically act as a multi-draw. So from what I've seen so far, you get 3 from doing the Shinryu. You get, depending on the event, like the 6-man quest, basically you just had to complete the 6-man quest. And once you completed the 6-man Area 5 quest, you got 3. It was clear 1, complete 1, and it was another one that they gave in there. But usually for events like this, it'll give you to complete the clear, and then you have to complete the Shinryu using one of the featured characters. Like this one, it said either use Core or Noctis without a friend unit. And I just went with Core and Noctis because they got new weapons and I'm ready to use them. And I threw Tifa in there. I just threw Tifa in there because I knew it would be a lot of single target damage I had to do to this boss. So that's why I went with Tifa. The first time I did this, I actually went with Baltier, but this score was higher than when I went with Baltier, so whatever. But yeah, other than that, yeah, as you can see, like I said, I like the changes with JP. They give it is less events. The materials to me. This is to me. Maybe other people feel differently, but it seems like with the less events and the more material, it's kind of balancing out to where, in my opinion, it's almost like you can burst plus a character per event. Now, that may be if because since characters are getting bursts at every event, like a new burst at every event, it may be something like if an old character comes back and you don't have that burst, but now you got two characters that you want to burst plus, so that may be, you know, a little iffy on that end. But other than that, like I said, I like the changes. I'm really loving JP now. I just went back to it. I think I'm gonna stick with it. Also add some variety to the Dissopia channel. But other than that, yeah, the fight is pretty much over. Just use brothers to finish them off, and that's it. But other than that, hope y'all enjoyed it. This King, and I'll see y'all in the next video.